Hello and welcome to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. It's Whacky Wednesday.
I know, we're going to have the best time with a stellar lineup of guests for you today. But first off, we hope you enjoyed your little workout at 7:30 and 8:30. We had Uncle Sam and Dawn in the house just to zen you out with the power yoga stuff.
We're going to be spending the next 1 hour with you before we go in your house with Mr. Raj Kumar. Then it's back to basics with Nat Dow. Before this evening, you spend some quality time with John and Duncan.
But before we get to all that, let's take a look at the numbers from yesterday. We had 383 new cases, 2 of which were in the community. So 1 Singaporean PR and 1 work permit holder, which is really, really good. We had no cases from outside the dorms and 381 cases within the dorms. I would say we're getting there.
We are definitely getting there, but the government did put out an advisory yesterday saying that we still cannot let up just yet. And as we are consistently and proactively testing people, we are going to see a spike in numbers. But it's been shown across the world that countries that are opening up slowly and easing back into normal life have seen lower numbers of a resurgence. Whereas countries that have just said, yeah, let's go, then not so good.
We really do have to kind of readjust to that new normal. I think New Zealand is a good example, actually. They went into lockdown super early and they've minimized that second wave completely. So that's great.
So for a lot of people, it's now about sort of managing expectations, doing damage control, making sure that the economy has legs to survive.
Yeah.
And there was a new budget that was announced.
Yes.
So a lot of different people looking to benefit, a few more measures for SMEs as well. So very important if you are looking for assistance, if you need help, or if you need to find out more information, always make sure you're heading to the government websites to make sure that you're getting the right information. But as Barbara said, it's New Zealand are really sort of setting the bar. And Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister for New Zealand, had actually come out saying that potentially a 4-day work week, and we touched on this briefly yesterday, would be potentially the best way for them to help the economy recover, ease that strain on the companies by allowing them to say, okay, yes, we may be reducing your salary, but we're also reducing your working hours, and to also help people get a little bit of work-life balance back, because when you're working from home, you actually end up working a lot longer hours. You don't have that commute time, so your bosses sort of semi-expect you to be on calls from as early as 8 o'clock now, as opposed to 9:30 previously.
You get in.
You're working through later on into the evenings as well, again, because you don't have that commute time. So that balance between...
It's hard to remove yourself. Like if you're on the computer at 7 o'clock at night, you pop outside for a quick dinner and you can just hop back on and get stuff done. So it's almost the self-discipline to stop yourself from working when you're on a roll is quite difficult.
Yeah. You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Yeah. I need to stop looking at the screen.
Speaking of screens, we really should get someone in to talk about eye health.
Yes, I think the 4-day work week, eye health, these are all topics that we will definitely touch on.
Especially when we move to our new format next week,
over to
post Circuit Breaker.
Kick back with Kelly and Barbara.
That's right.
I think that's going to be a fun
exciting
one. Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick reminder, that 4-day work week thing, I would like to hear from you guys. So whilst you're sat at home, I'd actually like to know, 4-day work week, yay or nay? Do you think it's a good idea, a bad idea? Do you think it would work in the Singapore context? A lot of people are saying, it would be a nice idea, a nice ideal, but would it actually work here? Questionable. So let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Also, you can drop us a comment below if you'd like to walk away with
$20 off Kydra. It's a homegrown local athletic wear brand, Kydra. They are giving us $20 vouchers for us to give to you. So all you need to do is like and share the Get Active TV Facebook page, share the morning show onto your page, and comment. Tell us, what is your favorite exercise? Last week we did, what exercise did you hate the most?
Now, what exercise do you love? I have discovered an exercise that I really don't love. Single-legged burpees.
Well, that's not love. No, we want to go with the love today.
Yeah.
We
so
want to go with the love.
With the love, Savasana, lying on the floor. And on that note, we're going to go for a short break. When we return, though, Barbara, you're going to be...
the osteopath is back in the house.
Wow, sounds amazing. Barbara's going to be taking control of that. Plus, we've got SG Supernanny coming your way and Aarika Lee in the house, the
Master
queen
of
of all head wraps. Joining us in studio. Don't go away. This is The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara.
Step right up, draw the next card. You're one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else. Is this ship sinking? I've been thinking. Always sinking. I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. Wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Welcome back to The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Kelly's popped off for a coffee, as always. I'm doing a lot of the stretches. This week, we've got Aman the osteopath back in studio with us. Thank you for joining us again.
No problem, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Now, a little bit of background. I've known Aman for quite a while. We used to go to the same boxing gym, and last week we had Tiffany No Chill Teo come in with us for a little bit of an MMA type of stretch. And I know that Aman, you did, you're a master of all things, kind of, in a way.
A jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, that was,
One, yeah.
it's master of none, right? Okay, jack of all trades. And you did a white collar boxing thing.
I did.
Right? Quite a while ago.
A while ago, about five years.
Has it been that long
It's
already?
been that long.
So just, yeah, you know what? I just want to talk about that for a little bit before we get into today's stretch. How was a white collar boxing experience?
It's intense. In the actual event, there's like 1,000 people watching you, so you know that's enough to get your nerves going. But yeah, it's good training, good focus.
It was like 3 months of intensive training leading up to this one event.
Yeah, it's good. It's good thing to focus your mind on, just continuously train.
Did you have any boxing experience before you joined the white collar crew?
Kickboxing, no boxing.
No boxing.
But a good amount of kickboxing.
Oh, fair
But my
enough.
opponent had a good amount of Muay Thai, so it was. You
It
know.
was a balance. Did you win?
Yes.
Whoa! Now we have to know, because Tiffany Teo told us how her fight names got given to her. What was your, because I know white collar boxing, it is this big event, there's like fireworks, there's lights, you've got this whole walk-in thing, it's quite flashy.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
Yes. So what was your fight name?
It was some Punjabi by background, so my colleague made it up for me. It was Seek and Destroy, spelled S-I-K-H.
You do not sound very enthusiastic about
Little-
this. You're like,
little
this
pun.
is something I want to not talk about.
So it wasn't on the script.
Wasn't on, that's fine. That's what we're all about, nice and chill. Okay, so let's rein it back in. What are we going to focus on today?
So last time we spoke a bit about stretches for running, obviously something people are doing a lot.
Yeah.
So today we want to go through actually a little bit of stability, so not really any stretching, but it's really important concept of basically single leg stability and how that should strengthen your hip and stop you getting knee or back problems. Majority of injuries I see through running in the clinic are going to be either due to tightness or due to weakness. So if you're like quite strong, you know, quite stable, usually might be a tightness issue.
Yeah.
If you're someone who doesn't really strength train but then goes into running, you know, you probably have an imbalance. And like, basically there's a big muscle on the side called your glute medius, and it's your main hip stabilizer. So that muscle really functions on a single leg. So you can squat 100 kilos, which I know you do. And
No, not 100. What?
but get that person on a single leg and they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Translate that to running, and you're on one leg 100% of the time. There's no point where both your feet touch the floor when you're running.
Right.
So a good test you can do for
Sometimes
yourself.
you see people like
Yeah, that's
really doing the side to side jog as
yeah,
well.
but yeah, so that's actually a classic sign. So when you go on a single leg and the person does this, that indicates a weakness in
Right.
that hip. Another thing, when someone squats and you see their knees come in, again, that when they lunge and their knee drives in, again.
So you're
weakness
kind of
to that.
aiming for a very square.
Yeah, but it's just an indication. So you want to, you know, if you see someone squat and
Yeah.
they do that, you really want to build that stability in the hip. You don't just tell them to squat that way.
I'm gonna be
'cause
super conscious about when I do my squats.
It's
now
okay,
as well.
okay, don't worry about it. So we'll go through like 3 kind of, let's say, stability exercises.
Okay.
Maybe the first is quite easy, but more of a skill. So just getting people on a single leg initially. You'll be surprised how people can't hold this for a minute, but you should be able to. And if you can do that,
I heard that if you close your eyes, it's even worse.
well, that's the next step. So if you close your eyes,
Oh.
have a. So you
Oh,
can
I'm
see-
getting it.
so you
Not
see-
too bad.
So you see your ankles rocking quite a bit,
Yeah.
hips having
Oh.
to stabilize.
Wasn't as great as I thought it was then.
So you want to aim for a minute,
Oh.
like without dropping. You don't have to do it now, but
Oh, okay.
you should be aiming for a minute.
Notice
for-
how I did it on my right leg and not my left, because we all have a more stable side, let's be honest.
Yeah, we do. So next couple of exercises, still on the single leg theme, just a little bit more kind of strength through there. So single leg squat. This can be made easier by the height of what you sit onto. So
Ah,
the most difficult will be a full pistol squat, which
we're
you
not
can't do.
doing. Yeah.
And if you're, you
That's
know,
not
maybe
happening.
like, maybe you've got some knee issues or maybe a bit elderly, you can sit on like the edges of bed and you can just kind of squat
and
down
down,
slower.
up and down.
But for us, we should be okay on
Or a
this,
high chair.
technically. So take one leg off and then you're just gonna sit up and sit down. You'll see your knee kind of wobble a bit. And sit down. Yeah, just gotta trust the chairs there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to gauge. Okay, it's still there. Someone hasn't run in and put it behind me. Oh, I'm feeling quite strong.
So you want, yeah, you're actually pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
Um,
Validation.
So
right
you will
there.
see some people, like I'll go in clinic and they stand up and their legs like just wobbling all over the place.
How much am I allowed to bend forward to get into that as well?
You can initially use that, but you want to not use too much momentum to come up, obviously. So the stricter you are, the easier.
Yeah, and I know that we kind of lean to the side, and this is going to be my next question. If we just revert back to that first exercise that we
Yeah.
did on stability, we have a tendency, like if I'm going on my right leg,
Yeah.
I will tend to lean to my right a little bit more. Am I aiming to keep it square in that
No.
stance, or should I? Is
No,
it okay to lean a bit?
Well, yeah, no, you should lean, because when you shift your weight onto that one leg, your center of gravity is going into that
Yeah.
single leg. So if you try and shift your center back, you can't really
Yeah.
balance. Also, try not to think about things too much.
Oh,
Your body will
yeah, that's
naturally
my
do its
problem.
thing. People are often like, oh, when I'm walking or running, or should I keep this? Just like, your body's going to do its thing. If you think about
Right.
something and try and change it, you will probably for about a minute, and then you'll just go back to
You'll revert back to it
so
anyway.
you want to change things and strengthen things naturally, and then hopefully they should,
Awesome.
you know.
What else have we got?
So last one will be a single leg deadlift. I like this exercise because it encompasses quite a few different muscle groups and a stretch in your hamstring at the same time, and stability work in the hip. So you want to aim for about 10 reps without putting your leg down. That's a good set. But if it's just one to start with, that's okay. So you
Right.
balance on the leg. You're going to come back. Just make sure it's really a hip hinge. So your cue to stop is, for me, is here, is when your hamstring's under full stretch. So your back straight, you're not really trying to go down.
You're not trying to
Yeah.
flip over
No.
into a yoga pose. You're just trying to maintain stability.
Yes, but what people do wrong sometimes, not necessarily wrong, but not for this exercise, is they'll try and touch the floor and they'll use their back, or they'll round their back to get it. It's a hip exercise, so your hip hinge is the most important part. By doing this, I'm just really using my back to get down, and it's not really
You're not
affecting
doing
the hip in it.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of like recognizing the limitations or
Exactly.
how your body moves.
If you're like really not flexible and you can just get to here, that's fine.
That's fine.
But that's where you start.
Let's see how far. Okay.
So kick the leg back a bit more. That's pretty good. So you want to end up in like a T. That's pretty good, I'd say. And then come back up.
Thank you for training at level.
Yes. So, yeah,
The number
exactly.
of single leg deadlifts we've done over the last year is ridiculous.
So when you get to like rep 5, 6, you'll really start feeling the stability side.
strain.
Ones for you will be quite easy. And then when you want to progress that, you can just chuck a weight in your hands. And yeah, so it does get that stretch in the hamstring plus the single leg stability in the hip.
Yes.
Opposite leg gets the glute and the lower back. So it does a lot.
All rounders.
Obviously, if you have knee problems, probably consult someone before doing these
Yes.
for obvious reasons.
Awesome. And so you guys are opening up next week.
Next Tuesday, yeah.
Next Tuesday, osteos are allowed to.
Back in action.
Yeah. So are you expecting to see a lot of runners who are going to come
yeah.
in with some injuries?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, even pre-circuit breaker, we're already starting to see quite a few.
So, okay, just to wrap things up, if people do need to book an appointment with you or anyone from Edge Healthcare, how do they get in touch?
You can just go on the website, www.edgehealthcare.com.sg, or Instagram or whatever, and we have our front desk there to assist.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us
worries.
again. I am going to work on my single leg stability. We're going to go for a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have a little chat with SG Supernanny, make sure everyone is getting the sleep that they need. Don't go anywhere.
Step right up, draw the next card. You one of the black animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Always sinking. I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. One of these days you're gonna feel. One of these days I'm gonna feel this haze. A wake-up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. 'Cause wanna know the secret, we get on. Wanna know the secret, we get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. How are you feeling now that you've got your single legs all worked out? Although
More
I feel
stable
like
on one side.
yeah, I was going to say one side seems to have gotten a little more work than the other.
Yes, definitely. When demonstrating, I always tend to use the side that I'm better at. Less
So we
embarrassing.
less embarrassing. Avoid face plants, amongst other things.
Yes. How was your coffee?
Coffee was great.
Delicious.
And coffee is necessary because sleep maybe isn't coming as easily as it used to. Now, I don't know about you guys, but since circuit breaker happened, like some people have either been sleeping really, really well, or if you are a stressed out parent who's having to deal with their kids who've got pent-up energy that they're not burning and expending, struggling with their kids sleeping, and maybe as a result, or maybe because we've been working too much, you've been struggling with your sleep just in general. So joining us today is Zoe Chu, founder of SG Supernanny. She is the SG Supernanny. She's joining us at home because she's got 4 kids.
4 kids!
Including a set of twins, so she didn't want to leave them alone at home with her husband. But she's joining us today. She has transformed countless number of lives by helping both children and adults get better sleep. Zoe, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kelly, Barbara.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. How are you coping? How are you doing? Circuit breaker is almost ending, but how?
And then how do you do it?
Well, actually, I'm really thankful that my husband, well, he's a dentist actually, and because of the circuit breakers, they can only see emergency cases. Okay, so he's been at home quite a lot because of that. So while I'm busy with my work, he's minding the kids.
Oh, that's lovely. It seems like you've got a nice tag team going on there, and at least like he's not really working from home in that sense, so at least he can devote his time to the kids, right?
Yeah.
But that's not something that a lot of people have been able to do. A lot of people are working from home. Both working adults are working from home. So the kids are kind of left to their own devices, especially during these May holidays, which is leaving them
The inverted
with,
commas.
yeah, the inverted commas, which means that kids aren't burning as much energy, which means that kids aren't sleeping as well. Just help.
Okay, Kelly might cry during this segment, let's be honest. Okay, I will have tissues on standby.
So how can we help? How can we deal with this? Seriously.
Yes, so really, I really sincerely believe that, healthy sleep habits is really the best thing, not just for our kids, but for ourselves as well, because sleep is so, so important, right? And, when you're not sleeping well, you're just not your usual self, you're not getting the best energy that you be getting from a well-rested good night's sleep, right? So I really sincerely believe that if you can get your kids to sleep well, then you can get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep as well. And so for my kids, right, they love their sleep, they prioritize their sleep, they go to bed early, okay? So my youngest one, she's almost 4, okay, and she goes to bed by 8:30. And then my older one, the twins they're teenagers now, okay, 14 years old. And then my number 3 is 9 years old. So they go to bed around 9:30 or 10 is the latest, okay? So they need a lot of sleep. They know that. And so sometimes we do have movie nights, okay, and that's our cheat day. So I allow them to stay up a bit late because of that. But otherwise, most of the time they go to bed quite early. Like last night they went to bed at 9:30. So when they go to bed, then we have a bit of a me time, couple time as well. Yeah.
So how have they been sleeping? I know that you're especially with twins. It's very, very hard to cope with twins when they're young. How do we get them to sleep through the night then? Like, I mean, I've got Sienna who is 3.5 years old. She sleeps by 8:30 sometimes max, but usually if I've managed to like wear her out, she's in bed. We start the bedtime process at 7:30. She's asleep by 8 o'clock or thereabouts. But she tends to wake up sort of like maybe 2, 3 o'clock and wants to come into our bed, and then of course then bye-bye sleep, or at least it's disrupted sleep for me.
Because you get a foot in the face.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, as a first-time mom to my twins, I also struggle with them not sleeping well because I was a clueless first-time mom back then. I didn't know anything about the science of sleep and how to foster healthy sleep habits. But, my neighbor came along, then she saw my panda-looking eyes. I was like a mombi back then, right, because of all the sleepless night that I had with them. And so once I got them both to sleep well, because I learned a lot about, the science behind the sleep, and then I came up with a plan, right, to get them to sleep well and through the night. And then it really worked, right? And then so I just wanted to share all this, information or facts about science of sleep that that you can also get your babies or your toddlers to be a good independent sleeper. All you need to do is know how to foster them, the healthy sleep habits. So I came up with a 5-step system that I share with my clients or parents, right? And I tell them, first of all, you need to understand the science behind sleep. Okay, the sleep cycles and all this. You need to also prepare the ideal sleep environment for your child. Just like for us, we need to make sure that our bedroom is the sleep sanctuary, right? And then the third thing is to give your child a good age-appropriate routine or schedule so that when you put them down, they are not too overtired. Okay, and then the fourth thing is to come up with a sleep plan. You need to plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And then the final step is to teach your child how to self-settle. Okay, so like for Sienna, you said that if she wakes up in the middle of the night, it's probably because if she fell asleep with your presence, right, she will probably need your help again to fall back asleep because she fell asleep with you there in the room. So in the middle of the night, when she wakes up in between her sleep cycle and she sees you're no longer there, then she's probably going to be alarmed, and then she will come to your bedroom or something like that, asking you to help her connect to the next sleep cycle. So that's really the reason why she will probably wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to tell.
That is interesting.
I need to tell Justin to stop. So
We're blaming Justin now.
Yeah. We're gonna push the blame on this one. Okay.
My next question is, we talk about sleep and the sleep cycles. So how important is sleep? And throughout the different phases in our lives, like what is the recommended durations for different stages in our lives?
Barbara says this because she sleeps a lot.
And I just want to justify that I need the 9.5 hours.
Now, for adults, we need at least 7 to 8 hours or 7 to 9 hours of sleep, okay? Consolidated sleep. So it has to be good quality sleep. It can't be broken. If it's broken, then you wake up feeling, sluggish or just not well rested. And for newborns, okay, newborns like 0 to 3 months, they need at least 15 to 18 hours of sleep. Okay, and then followed by infant 4 to 6 months is about 14 to 15 hours. Okay, then 6 to 12 months is about at least 14 hours. Okay, and then with preschooler, they need at least 12 to 13 hours, including naps. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what's recommended by the National Sleep Foundation. And yeah, I miss out on the teenagers. They need about 9 to 10 hours.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds so great. I look like a teenager. What?
Yeah,
sure. Oh, you've just made her day, Zoe. You've absolutely made her day. Okay, so then as adults who are finding it difficult to switch off from that work mode sometimes, like, yes, it would be nice to put the kids to bed and then just relax and kick back, but not everyone is able to do so. I mean, as we're trying to juggle the whole working from home thing, I see my husband very often, because he's the one that will usually put Sienna to sleep after I've given her her milk. He usually ends up going back to work and doing a bit more work, and then as a result of that, we're sleeping a lot later. But like, how can we help foster healthy habits for the parents and for adults? How can we switch off? Is there anything
especially
that you would
during
recommend?
This time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a sleep hack, because all of us are exposed to our devices, right? Our laptop, our TV, and all these things. And all these devices actually give us the exposure of blue light. Okay, and once it enters into your brain or through your eyes, and it signals to your brain that it's daytime. So we don't want that, because we actually want our body to know that it's nighttime, and we want to boost the production of melatonin. That's the sleepy hormone that we need to fall asleep easily and stay asleep. Mm-hmm. So one sleep hack that I can share with you guys is that you need to get yourself a blue light blocking glasses. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, I have one here. So you just, get a pair of these kind of glasses, all right? And then it supposedly just block off the blue light exposure, and that will help with the, exposure to your blue light, and it will make sure that you get more melatonin production because you're not going to expose much blue light.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
really good.
awesome.
So the new pair of like my glasses that I wear at home.
Yeah.
So once I get home, I take off my contact lenses because I don't want to wear them for too long.
Yeah.
So I made sure that the new pair of glasses I got are blue light blocking. So then at least that way I'm not screen time, reducing, well, the blue light going in during screen time.
That's so
before
smart.
bed.
That
So
is
it does help.
super smart.
And sorry guys. And if you don't have the blue light blocking glasses, that's fine. You can install an app. It's a free app on your laptop. Okay, it's called f.lux. Okay, f.lux, and then you can install it on your screen. Okay, and then what happens is that as night comes, okay, it will actually have this orange tinge on your screen, and that's actually a good way to block out the blue light as well.
Oh, dun dun dun.
That is probably one of the most useful hacks I have heard in a very long time. Okay, so just to wrap things up, Zoe, if anyone wants to reach out to you to find out a little bit more about helping their baby sleep or to get better quality sleep for themselves, where can they find you? And are you doing online courses? Or because I've heard you speak at so many of the mum and baby events, but how does one reach out to you other than attending one of those seminars physically, which we clearly cannot do right now?
Okay, well, they can check out my website, www.sgsupernanny.com, or, connect with me on Instagram or Facebook at SG Supernanny. I'm very active there. I answer all your DMs and, comments. So, yeah, feel free. And right now, I'm very busy with my online consultation because, like you said, I can't go to my client's home anymore. So I'm doing a lot of group coaching program as well. And, yeah, just reach out to me.
That's
and find out more.
amazing.
Awesome. Zoe, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Hopefully you guys at home have taken away something insightful. I know I definitely have.
That's right. Now, also don't forget to drop us a comment. Tell us what is your favorite exercise, and you might just walk away with a $20 voucher from Kydra. We are going to go for a short break, but when we come back, Aarika Lee, mom, musician, PR miracle worker, and master of head wraps will be in studio with Kelly.
That's right. Don't go away.
In no way can we compare ourselves to healthcare workers, to those hitting the streets, keeping people safe, but I think we serve a different purpose.
I hope that people can take away a fun new fact or something to help their physical or mental development at this point in time.
Regardless of which industry you're from, we all face the same challenges. If all of us were to stay united and persevere till the end, I'm very sure we'll overcome the whole thing together.
What we as entertainers are trying to do is to sound out to as much people as possible that there is every possibility to move to the next phase of the future with positivity in mind.
We have a much leaner team than any other production that I've worked on. We're doing a lot with very little resources to ensure that we adhere to all of the rules and regulations. I feel like we're serving the needs of Singaporeans currently at home. We are entertaining them, we're giving them ideas, and we're trying to bring the outside world inside. That's something that we feel like the Singaporeans need, and if we don't do it, then who will? Welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. Barbara's turn to pop off for a little coffee. So I have got the pleasure of one of the most incredible multitasking women that I've ever met in my entire life. Plus, she is a woman that wears many hats. And when I say hats, I mean wraps. This is Aarika Lee joining us in studio. And my absolute style guru, simply because I think you are the epitome of like perfectly put together every single time we meet. You look absolutely amazing. Aarika Lee, you might have known her from listening to her music. She is the wife to the Lion City boy. They have 2 beautiful children. She is marketing director at Elementary Co., who are some incredible people who basically put together some of the best campaigns, digital campaigns that I have, and physical campaigns when that was possible, for a lot of incredible brands. Like, I've worked with you guys on so many projects. I've always enjoyed attending your events, and I've enjoyed working with you and the team on so many occasions. But first of all, before we dive into any of that, how are you? That's like an epically long introduction.
I know. It's like, what an introduction. Thank you so much for just inviting me to come out here.
It's just like humanity.
Yeah, it's like people.
Yeah.
How am I? You know, I think, how is everyone? I think everyone's just trying their best to adjust and cope with everything that is on our plates now and all the different hats, like literally hats that we have to wear. But I think, like you mentioned, with elementary, you know, I'm so blessed to be part of a great team. So I feel like there is support in a lot of areas, whether it's on the work front or on the personal front. And, you know, it's great to have a partner like Kevin, who is very hands-on. So I think sharing the load has been very helpful.
Now, you've got 2 gorgeous kids, Zola and Ari, and they like absolutely gorgeous. How have you been dealing with spending so much time with your kids?
Wow, so if you follow me on Instagram, you will realize that they have very big personalities, right? I mean, I guess if you combine me and Kevin and then you have children, that's what you get, like boom Zola and boom Ari. So
Booms.
But it's a lot. It's really quite a lot to handle. I think the upside is that they have each other for that engagement and that play and that, you know, kind of social interaction. But I think, as with a lot of people who are working from home, who don't necessarily have help and have children, like it's a lot to take in a day. You know, I literally wake up and I have to like consciously and intentionally tell myself, like, this is what today is going to be like. You know, I'm going to be patient. I am going to remember that when the kids need something, that they need my attention first, and everything else has to wait. As much as I think like something else is urgent, because I mean, I guess when you work from home and when you're working in a team, like your part and your contribution is it's like a domino effect, right? If you don't finish your part and pass it on, then the baton just can't keep going. So I think it takes a conscious effort to make sure that I'm not like dropping any balls or losing my hair, while, you know, trying to make sure that like staying home is also okay and comfortable for them. Still kind of be responsible to the people that I have to be responsible to. And then comes in, like, you know, meal times, right? Like, I have to make sure they've got breakfast, they've got lunch, they've got dinner, you know, and they've got snacks. And it's just not feasible to be ordering in all the time. For one, it costs a lot of money. And 2, like, you know, the waste that you can create just from having to order in a meal for a small family.
I agree.
Is a lot. So it's been a lot.
But you've been doing well. You've been finding lots of different ways to keep the kids amused. You've been doing a lot of baking. You've been making cloud cookies.
I have.
Lemon cakes. Tell us a little bit about how you get the inspiration to amuse the kids. I mean, I saw you guys had also painted air guitars. Was it air guitars you guys had done?
Yeah, we do a lot of art at home, and I think that's something that we've sort of taken the lead from the kids from, right? So they've always been very creative. They always, like, even before the circuit breaker, we would always have, like, maybe weekends, a couple of hours, they'd just set up and they'd paint or draw or whatever. So I think when the circuit breaker hit, it was really something that we started to have to plan for them. Like, hey, you know what, we need to maybe make it like a daily or weekly thing that they can sit down and just do some art, and like it's something that they started to really look forward to. So I signed them up for art classes online, and those were super helpful because it was like 90 minutes of them being focused on creating something. It was a very interesting art class by Art Wonderland where they would incorporate painting and craft. So they would make like astronaut helmets or guitars or goggles, and for those 90 minutes I'll be like locked in to do my work so that, you know, they can, like, basically they're engaged and they're taken care of so that I can do something else. And the baking has just been fun as like a family activity. So Zola has always, I mean, prior to this, I used to live with my in-laws, and then when we moved into my new place, like we've got an oven and everything now that it's like shiny. And Zola's always like, "Can we use it? Can we make something? Can we bake something? Let's eat brownies today, or let's eat cookies today." So I think
bye-bye diet.
yeah, it's true. I don't know about you, but circuit breaker has made me eat so much more, because anytime I need a snack or I want to snack, it's like,
it's right there.
I can literally not leave my seat and open my pantry cupboard and take out snacks. So it's gotten bad.
But you still look fabulous. And I have to say, props for like dressing to match our studio set. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Elementary and the work that you guys do, because we, like I said earlier on, you guys have run some incredible digital campaigns, especially recently. We did one together with Play-Doh, which was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
But how have you found this new sphere, and how are you guys managing to help clients when you can't physically reach out to an audience and help them engage in that way? How have you guys had to pivot? Because sort of as head of marketing, that's sort of like all down to you.
I know. Every day is like a giant brainstorm, right? And I think it's strange. Like the circuit breaker, I think, has really challenged us to think more creatively. It seems like a restriction, but somehow it's kind of opened new ideas for a lot of us. And when we get great clients like Hasbro, who did the Play-Doh thing with you, who are very open to having a conversation with us to try new things and not be worried about how it would play out, because we were doing one IG live per weekend, and every time it was with a different mom together with a different artist, and you just never know how it will be, whether and what's happening on that day, because you're kind of reliant on someone on the other end being free to log in and to have like the necessary tools that they might have at home. And it's been quite tricky, versus like if you could invite them down to an event, it would be, you get a clear RSVP, you get to meet the people. Clients love meeting with their customers and things like that. So it's kind of like gone a very different route, but we've been super lucky to have clients that have been willing to adjust. And at the same time, we've also gotten actually new clients. So like Elementary is a branding and marketing agency, and we're predominantly a digital agency. So in that sense, a lot of brands who never had a digital strategy before have obviously suddenly felt like, we need one. So we're very thankful to have work. Budgets have definitely been cut because of so many different reasons happening on the client end. But we've just been super lucky and been able to exercise a new creative muscle, finding different strengths in different teammates and kind of letting them do that. Like actually we have a photographer that's on our team, and now it's like, wow, we really are so glad that you have a skill set that all our clients can use. So we're just sending her things to like, hi, you need to photograph this. Please make this look beautiful. But
it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy, and to make sure you have the right backdrops and all that sort of things, it takes a lot to make something very simple look attractive.
Exactly. So it takes a lot of time.
So just on that business side of things then, if there are clients out there, or if there are small businesses out there who, like you said, are realizing, oh man, we need to up our digital presence, so what advice would you have to them to say, look, this is what you can do right now to start improving your presence when you can't engage or reach out to your typical audience?
I think one guiding principle that we still have for our clients that are existing and even new ones is that at the end of the day, it's a lot about storytelling and building relationships. So I think no matter what the platform, whether or not you get to meet the person or whether you are doing it digitally, I think as a brand, you just really need to find out what your story is and be able to share that authentically. Because there's a lot of noise that is on social media right now. And actually, to be relevant and to be honest with your story is the most important thing, because at the end of the day, it's a person that wants to connect with you. So I think, you just really kind of drill down to what your story is, what is so special about your brand right now, and how I think you can help, like how you can sort of, be uplifting in this very challenging time. And even with a lot of our clients, it's not really even about the product anymore, but it's about how can we sort of bridge that space right now between like, you and what you feel like you need from the outside world, right? Whether it's a toy to interact with your kids or to kind of keep these tactile play going on at home, or whether it's something that is for self-care, or whether it's something for your mental health. I feel like it's kind of all these soft elements that are more important right now and values than the actual product itself. So
completely agree.
Yeah, so whatever your brand is doing, I think like if you can sort of like address your customers in that space, it's more likely that you will have also a loyalty, I think, that will follow after, because they know that you're interested. I mean, rather, the customers feel that you are interested in them,
Yes.
and how they're doing, versus, hey, please buy what I'm doing. Or
That's true.
Yeah.
Like hard sell is really probably not
Yeah.
the right way to go right now.
And
I think
it's so strange because it's a digital space now, and like a lot of that is about making a beautiful picture,
Yes.
or making a crazy video, a beautiful video. But right now, actually, people want to hear stories, and people want to feel you through this.
I think people are just
intangible
reaching
space.
out for connection, and they're trying, when we can't physically interact with
Yeah.
people, they want to see how they can digitally interact with other people, which is why there are so many Insta live chats and that interaction. And I really enjoyed that with Hasbro and with Isha the other day. Like, it was just so nice to be able to interact with someone, even if it's digital.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are very, very lucky that you could come join us in today, because, like I said, you are epic style guru, and I learned all my head wrap knowledge from you. So I figured I should probably put you to the test. We try and do a little challenge with as many of our guests as we can, and when we were thinking about what we could do, which was fun with you, and obviously because it's Whacky Wednesday,
Is it?
It is Whacky Wednesday. I wanted to give you a challenge.
Okay.
In 1 minute, how many different types of wraps can you tie with your head wrap?
Oh my gosh. Okay, right now.
Yes, right now.
With this wrap.
With this wrap on your head. We're going to get you to undo it, and we're going to give you
Okay.
1 minute, 60 seconds to
Okay.
try and see how many different types of head wraps you can do. Are you ready?
Yes. Okay, it's going to look like a mess, but I'll do this for you, Kelly.
Oh, I love it. look at that.
It's like,
You
just
still
pop
look
it off.
perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Wait, I have to unravel it
Okay,
first.
okay. I give you chance. I
Okay.
give you chance.
Give me a chance, Key.
Okay. She has
The things
She
that-
has the most amazing collection of head wraps. Every single outfit she wears, she has a coordinating head wrap. Okay.
It's a great accessory for a bad heady.
It's a great accessory for when I couldn't get my hair cut during
Oh my
circuit
God.
breaker.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, are you
Okay,
ready?
we'll try.
Your
Okay,
time
I'll show you the first one first.
starts now.
I feel like I'm not going to get very far. Okay.
It's okay, it's
this is
okay.
the first one. Okay.
You see, this is how
I'm not
easy
even
it is to...
going to make it look good.
It doesn't matter.
neat,
Okay,
I
so this
mean.
is the basic like
Okay,
loop
this
and
is
knot.
one. Yeah, a loop and knot. So
Okay.
just okay, tighten it,
Okay,
and then
very
you would
good.
tuck the ends. Does that count it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
One in. Next one, let's go.
Oh my gosh, I should have 3 head wraps or something.
just,
so that-
just chop and change, right? It's okay, it's okay.
Okay,
This is
so
real life.
This is real life. This is what happens live. You can't control what is happening.
You cannot control. Okay, so again.
So it's always good to start with the knot.
Okay.
Okay, this is one that I literally have not done in ages, but it's just like a
Ooh,
wrap.
Wrap around and tuck in.
Ah.
Looks a little like
I
a
have,
turban.
I have no mirror, so I have no idea how this is gonna go. But and then you just tuck it. Does that look right?
It does. It
Tuck
does
it
look
in
right. Yeah.
here.
Just tuck it in. Just tuck it
Okay,
in a little
it's
bit
all
more.
meant to. Yeah. Okay, that zoom is better. Okay, so it's
Ooh,
meant to be
very
neat.
nice.
Just tuck
This one
in
has
there.
like a nice little bit of height. Okay,
Okay.
let's see if we can get one more in.
Okay, one more.
We've technically hit 1 minute, but like I want to see one style. Just because I'm like, I'm running out of ideas on how
Okay.
to tie my head wrap.
Okay, this one's also easy. So it's just that and a twist. So just twist. Now that we're not in a rush to
Yeah.
beat the minute anymore.
Ooh, this one's
Yeah,
fun.
and then you just tuck it in the back.
Ooh, very nice.
Ta-da!
I like that little braid on the side. There we go. Thank you very much, Aarika, for joining us on the
No
show.
problem.
For showing us how to tie a head wrap and for looking absolutely fabulous
Aw,
as always.
thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
having
sharing. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to quickly break it down with you before we wrap up the show here on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Don't go anywhere.
Step right up, draw the next card. Be one of the black animals, so get along
welcome back to the morning show. That was awesome. I kind of wish that I had a head wrap with me so that I could do it as
she was doing it, just so you knew what to do.
Just so that I knew what I was doing. But
really
again,
like
no
that,
mirror.
That
side
braid
braid.
around, yeah.
But I think it's also down to head shape. Like I have a really
Have you got Hainanese head?
Head shape, yeah, I think
you've
so,
got the
because it
flat
doesn't,
Hainanese
I have to make sure I have a bun at the bottom so that it kind of holds the wrap in place. If not, as the day goes down, it just kind of like, it slides
off your head.
And also it's impossible to wear with masks.
That is also very true, unless you have a Saki mask.
Yes, well, I'm gonna get one as soon as I can.
That's right. Alrighty, so moving on to break it down here today. It's Betsy today, hey?
Doing the, come on, you know you love to do it.
Oh, you can do it.
It's down with Betsy. She's going to be working on those abs today, the six-pack that I never had.
Hello and welcome to Break It Down, the time when we get to break down your favorite exercises and movements so you know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, and the best hacks to make it easier and also hopefully a lot harder. My name is Betsy, and today I'll be taking you through some abdominal exercises and how to deepen your crunch when you do an abdominal curl. Okay, so I'm going to get you to lie down on the mat first. Now just keep your legs hip distance width apart. Now we want to always try to get into a good abdominal crunch, and I know sometimes a lot of us feel like our neck gets very tense up when we are doing any curling exercises. So I'm going to show you this little hack that will kind of allow you to curl up a little bit higher when you're actually doing this exercise, and then you kind of feel like you're working your abs a lot harder. Okay, so quite a basic exercise I think anyone can do, but let's try to make it a lot better for us. Okay, so I'm just going to have our hands placed behind our head first. Now my legs are placed at hip distance width apart, and I'm going to have my knees bent, not placing my heels too close to me and not too far from me as well. All right, just halfway there. Now we need to put our feet firmly on the floor for this exercise, and I'd like you to start by actually doing a little bit of pushing and pulling action. Now let's try to just push our heels away from my tailbone, and I actually start to feel like I need to push harder to actually allow my tailbone to lift up. Can you see that now I'm actually starting to kind of do a posterior tilt, which means I am actually closing the gap under my lower spine. Okay, now I'm just going to relax the pushing sensation and come back in. As you can see, the curve returns back to my lower back. So I'm going to do it again one more time, all right? Exhale, now push into your heels, and you feel like you are tucking your lower spine onto the mat. Now from here, I'm just going to hold it there. Inhale, I'm going to stay. Exhale, now I'm going to curl my upper body up as high as I can. Now, once you're here, you might feel like, okay, I think I can go a little higher, or maybe I'm just here and I would like to come up a lot higher than, what I am doing. So from here, I'm just going to ask you to relax your feet. Now, you're going to do the reverse of pushing. You're going to pull your heels towards your bums, and you really feel like you can actually engage the front a lot better to curl up higher. All right, now inhale, just relax to go all the way down. Let's try again one more time, all right? Exhale, now curling up first. Now give your heels a little pull, although my feet is still firmly on the floor. Curling up, and now slowly return. Okay, let's do it together 2 more times to practice, all right? And now exhale, curling up. Now start to drag my heels towards my bums, and you feel the activation of your hamstrings, which are below your thighs, and you feel your abs actually working harder now. Inhale, now slowly return. Last one here. Exhale, curling up. Now start your heel pull. Pull it in. And now slowly return. Okay, now if you actually practice that, that will help you deepen your abdominal crunch. Now let's give you a little bit of progression to work your abs harder. All right, now hands will stay behind your head. Inhale, we stay here. Exhale, now pull your heels towards your bums and curl up straight away to get you into the position you want to be. Now bring one leg up to tabletop, and we bring the other leg up to tabletop. Hold the crunch up. Okay, now from here, we're just going to stretch one leg forward. Keep your abdominal stable. Now let's try the other side, reaching your legs long and away from you. And 3. Now think of pulling the heels in to curl up for 4. Pull the heels in towards your bums to curl up for 5. Last 2. And last one here. Coming back down, one leg down, the other leg down. Lower your body down and relax. Okay, you should feel a little bit of ab working here. So thanks for joining me on Break It Down. It's time for a quick break, but once you come back, it's over to Kelly and Barbara once more. So don't go anywhere.
Thanks so much, Betsy. You reckon
I feel
you got
like
a six-pack yet?
if I squeeze and I engage enough every day, I can do it without actually having to do other exercises for my, you know what, never mind.
No,
It was
I don't
wishful
think so
thinking.
either.
If I dream about it, maybe it'll happen. No?
Interesting. No, I think you actually need to put in some work.
Okay,
but they do
fine.
say abs are made in the kitchen. So hopefully you've been cleaning up your diet. I'm now on a 2-month mission to make sure that I get in the best shape of my life.
I'm just eating, man. I'm eating. I had a salad yesterday.
And how did that
Woohoo!
go for you?
It was great. It was yummy.
And then?
Put some artichoke in there, but I had a chocolate bar right before. it's all about balance.
Anyway, that sort of brings us to the end of the show for today. We've got a great show lined up for you tomorrow. Mason Tan.
Tough Nut Thursday.
That's right. Mason Tan, active health coach, will be joining us tomorrow morning, as well as Team
Liu.
Singapore surfer Becky Liu, also founder of Haikini. She's a Singaporean overseas, so we'll have her via Zoom call, and also Vivian Go. Interesting one. She's actually created a bundle of WhatsApp chat groups to help delivery drivers and people who need deliveries link up without a massive fee. She doesn't even take a cut from it. So it's great to see that people are out there doing whatever they can to help people who are struggling to get a little bit more work and to make as much money as they can wherever and in whatever way they possibly can.
We've got also the best of the best giveaways always for you. Tomorrow we've got $25 vouchers off from Fry Bistro. This is Irene Ang's restaurant.
That is
So,
right.
always got food to look forward to.
Always about the food. Hey, Barbara. Anyway, that wraps us up for today. Remember, whatever it is you're doing at home, make sure you stay safe, stay strong, and stay at home.